All right, good morning. The data that I'm going to show you this morning is derived from a syndicated report called Channel Power. It is a report that Stratus Ag Research produces. And the report is designed to understand farmer perceptions of ag retail organizations, and to measure for strengths and weaknesses. But we have also tried to do is to draw out some insights, derive some insights from the data, and that's part of what I'm going to show you today is what kind of insights we've derived from the data that we produced from these reports. So in 2016, we just finished the release of reports for the West Coast, the Midwest, and the South. And we're actually in the process right now of completing the reports in Canada. In 2016, we interviewed 2,828 North American farmers about their relationships with ag retailers. So now to today's question. Does it pay to get your boots dirty? The most recent Stratus Ag Research Channel Power survey revealed that many farmers expect their local ag retailer to provide on-the-ground support. The chart here shows us that the majority of farmers feel that it is important that their local ag retailer scouts their fields in season for weed, disease, and insect pests. And so in this particular analysis, what we did was we asked farmers on a scale from 1 to 5, how important is it that their ag retailer is able to deliver crop scouting services. So again, that's for weed, disease, and insect pests. And so we found in most geographies, the majority felt that it was important. But not all farmers agreed to the same degree. What we found was that in our research, we identified 2 different segments of farmers that really differed in how they approach a decision on which ag retailer to support. So there are those farmers who rank knowledgeable agronomists that can provide technical advice that is relevant to their farm as very important in their choice of which ag retailer to support. This segment was deemed the agronomic advice segment. Then there are those farmers who ranked convenience, products available when needed, and at a good price is most important, and that's more the transactional segment. What we ended up finding is that those that feel that price and productability are most important, so the transactional segment down at the bottom here, they are slightly less inclined to request crop scouting services. So on the other hand, though, farmers who choose their ag retailer based on the presence of knowledgeable agronomists who offer advice on ag products, which is more the agronomic advice farmer again, are more likely to request these services. And what we actually found was farmers that fell into that agronomic advice segmentation, and again, the segmentation was how they went about choosing their ag retailer. 76% of those farmers had at a scale from 1 to 5, a 4 or 5, felt it was important that ag retailers were delivering crop scouting services. So it's important to say that farmers want to receive crop scouting services, but again, the topic on this survey is, does it pay for ag retailers to get their boots dirty? And so we're going to try and dig into a little bit and understand what is the impact that those crop scouting services have on the ag retailer's business. So here we look at the impact of crop scouting actually on influence, so the level of influence over crop chemical purchase decisions. So what we found, and here we've got the Midwest, the South, and the West Coast. So if we just direct your attention here to the Midwest for a minute, we can see in the blue line here, these are the farmers that received crop scouting services from their ag retailer. When we asked what the level of influence those ag retailers had over their crop chemical purchases, 74% of those farmers said the retailer had a strong influence level. They were an 8, 9, or a 10 on a scale from 1 to 10, so they had a strong influence over their crop chemical purchase decisions. What we found is the farmers, again in the tan here, that did not receive crop scouting services, only 30% of them indicated that that retailer had a strong influence over their crop chemical purchases. So, and very much we saw the disparity exist across all geographies in the U.S., in both the South and the West Coast. So from our perspective, it would seem that where the retailer is actively supporting the farmer in the field, their advice is legitimized, and therefore the impact on the final purchase decision is greater. So again, we kind of predicted that we would see some of this, but the question still becomes, does it pay? What's the return for the ag retailers? We know there's an investment in being able to provide these services, so what's the return on that? And so from our data, we're deriving and looking at what the impact of that is. And our estimation of looking at return and looking at how you can get a payback on those investments is really share of crop chemical purchases. So what is the resulting share of those farmers' purchases? And so in the Midwest, you can see here, now we've looked at strong influence. So again, service delivery, strong influence level leads to a strong influence level over those purchases. And then those farmers that indicated they had a strong influence, they resultingly then spent more money with those ag retailers. So 82% share of crop chemical purchases were earned by retailers where the retailer had a strong influence, compared to only 46% where retailer had a weak influence. So, you know, really in summary, what we're finding is that farmers are spending more with those retailers who have earned the right to influence their purchase decisions, and thus we believe, again, that getting your boots dirty does pay dividends. So really short, hopefully simple analysis pulled out to try and derive some insight from the data that we have within our Channel Power Series report. Other key questions that we look at within our report for Channel Power is which factors are driving farmers' decisions to support some ag retailers over others. We do some segmentation work. Again, I alluded to that a little bit where I talked about farmers, part of the agronomic advice or the transactional segment, and it differs a little bit by geography, what we see in the segmentation, but we do dive into that. And then we really get into how farmers are perceiving each retail organization. We get into a little bit of a scorecard. What are the strengths and relative weaknesses of each retail organization in those geographies? A couple key metrics on loyalty and willingness to recommend that we can start to look, and we've got trends. We've been doing this Channel Power report now for about 4 years, and so we've got some pretty good trends that we're able to look at year-over-year analysis. Again, what I touch base on here, agronomic services. So we do dive into agronomic services even a little bit more, and we look at how many growers are actually paying for some of these services, and how important, again, is it for the delivery of these services. And one of the other things, we look at sales approach. So what's the impact of if the employees are kind of leading with price or agronomics first approach, and what's the resulting impact on the business and the perception of and share of business. So just a couple quick questions. Again, I didn't want to take up too much of your time this morning. I really just wanted to give you a brief look at what some of the insights are available with our Channel Power reports. Again, this is a 3-part series, so the first one is giving the customer what they want, really the best thing. If you would like, that webinar is posted on our website. You can go to stratusresearch.com. We have that website there. If you are interested in learning more about the Channel Power reports, please reach out. I've got my email address there, as well as my phone number. I'd be more than happy to kind of discuss and show you a little bit more about the reports that are available, pricing, and that type of thing. So again, thank you very much for joining me this morning. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. If there are any specific questions, you can type them into, I think you have a little dialogue box. You can type them in. I can answer them now. Or please, like I said, send me an email or give me a phone call. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.